Welcome to Cars in Korea. I introduced newly released Genesis Hyundai and Kia cars. And you guys are ready to see from the thumbnail. On my background here today, I have 2024 all-new Hyundai Santa Fe. I have made over 5, if not 6 videos on this Santa Fe already, going over the exterior and interior and also the test drive, both in Korean and English. So feel free to check it out. And I can't believe I'm getting these two cars in an angle. So on my background, I also have 2024 Kia Sorento facelift. Here I have it today to show you the back-to-back comparison of these two cars together, because not only are they direct competitors in the market, but I know there are a lot of you guys debating whether you should get the Sorento versus Santa Fe. And I really wanted to show you these two cars under this direct sunlight so you get some better good feeling of it, but seems like I got some beautiful lighting here today as well, so please bear with me. Let's really get into the Santa Fe versus Sorento. And this 2024 Kia Sorento facelift, first of all, is in gravity trim, as you can see from the blacked out front grille and also this gravity trim wheels on the side mirror as well as the side repeaters here. This is the blank side repeater, however, it just looks really badass having the gloss finish on top, and also the underneath, it has somewhat matte color. This is also finished in piano black, and they have just outdone it. Beautiful points with the piano black. They did not forget about the B pillar in the middle, which carries all the way down to the C pillar. It's continued on the spoiler, as well as this little air curtain attached on the trunk. When it comes to the cladding though, I gotta point out that it has the plastic cladding. I have these two cars back to back. I can tell you and show you and spot the differences immediately going back to back. The mud flap is here, whereas the Santa Fe doesn't get it. This is the calligraphy model, which is the highest trim here in Korea. However, there still is the black ink edition where you get the blacked out badge and the emblem. For your information, if you're in North American market, there is no black ink edition, but it will also be red in the same trim with the calligraphy model as well. So just keep that in mind. This is not the fully loaded model that I have with the Santa Fe here. This cladding here is finished in plastic. It's not piano black. However, it is on this Santa Fe. Kind of want to give you a back-to-back comparison going back and forth of these two cars together. Mostly you guys are curious about how spacious these two cars are though, right? Of course, I brought my measuring tape, so I'll give you all about those measurements in today's video as well. It's really hard to come by here in Korea, given the fact that these two cars are literally the latest and the most brand new cars from each manufacturer. Given the fact that it is one-man operation, this is the best I can do, so let me bring in the camera. And this is the grille that I told you about. It gets the badass, the blacked out grille, also finished in piano black somewhat. Kia, they actually do a great job of using piano black and just a regular plastic color on the front, and also used in the grille is this graphite color. So you see there is the plain plastic here, which is also connected and carried over to the cladding. Above it all, this piano black is the best color of what Kia has got to offer. But it's not just this Sorento, I want to say all Kia cars. Having said that, let's move over to Santa Fe. This is the cladding that I told you about. So it has the piano black finish cladding right here. So it's been raining here in Korea. Although it's piano black, you see it is durable. Hyundai always has been upgrading their parts, so the latest tech we see on these claddings, not only the paint but the material itself, it's not as circular as it is on Kia Sorento. It is not a complete circle, it is also at an angle. However, when you take a look at Santa Fe's, it's much more abundant here on this Santa Fe, because the radius, how angular and circular this cladding is completely different when it comes to the front and also the rear. They can create different pressures in order to maximize, to get rid of the dirty air that is created from the front of the car and pushing it out to the rear and so forth. And that, not only that, it also comes with the air curtain, as you can see right there. And also, Sorento gets the air curtain right here as well. I'm not trying to be biased here today. I'll try my best here today to cover the best of both cars, the best of both worlds. And this is the side repeater that I told you about earlier. On the top portion is gloss finish piano black, whereas in the middle is just the plain plastic. And again, this is because it's a gravity trim. This is the highest trim of it all. And just follow along the roof line, the pillars. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I know piano black is not everybody's favorite, but I think Ghia really does a perfect job with the piano black that they use on their recent cars. Honestly, on that point, I think they do better job than Hyundai. What do you think? So the taillights, I'll come back to that. Again, for the exterior reviews of these two cars, there is a thorough review both inside and outside of these two cars. So please refer to my last video. Both of them are more than 20 minutes long. So I'm pretty sure I've covered most of the things that I am about to say here today. The majority of today's video is to give you the back-to-back comparison in real life, real world, give you a feeler of how these two cars look and would feel when you see these two cars in person. Let me show you the interior of Ghia Sorento. As we can see, this is the 6-seat configuration, has the captain seats on the second row seat. Only Sorento gets that mesh grille on the second row seats. There is the AC vents in the middle for Sorento, whereas Santa Fe gets it right here in the bay pillar. One cup holder on the second row seat, whereas Santa Fe has two of them on the second row seat, and that is the AC vent that I just told you about. After going over numerous times of both cars, I can now tell the differences immediately. The window sizes are just completely different because we get the extra glass right here, and thanks to box that the Santa Fe is, there is the extra bonus glass right here on the second row seat, whereas you get this rectangular second row window, and it also comes with the blinds just like this. It mostly has to do with the design of the doors. Just going back and forth, we can see how massive this Santa Fe is compared to Sorento. Even if you get the captain seats for the Sorento, there is no automatic controls for the second row seat, whereas you do with the Santa Fe in captain seats. However, the test driver I have here today is the 7-seater, therefore it's the bench seat in the middle, so there is nothing motored right here, but still this button comes in handy, just like that. So at least that one is motored and you don't have to yank it every single time you try to hop in the third row seat, as we just saw. Pardon me, the car is all messy. The lever here and even the buttons over here, so seems to be precisely the same thing as that of the Santa Fe versus Sorento. This lever looks the same, and also if you touch it, it's going to yank the seat the same way as it did with Santa Fe. Nice kick plate right here, Sorento, and there is also a door step. Let's come to the front seat. So you can see there is the motored seats for the first row seats, and that is also the same case for Santa Fe, no doubt. So you see the different material is used for the buttons, but it's not going to be much of a deal breaker, to be honest, right? Can you spot the difference? Because the big difference comes right here. So there is the extra storage right underneath all of the gears here. It's the suction cups, my GoPros, and my hat, as you can see, but it's all inside. I even have my smartphone charging right there with gigantic cup holder, and also you see that center arm console, which opens both ways. And we've all seen this. And although the best part is that center console that I just showed you is you can actually get the items from the second row just like that. Right here, that is a big bummer for Sorento because this is completely blocked. Mostly has to do with the transmission, the dial transmission right there. It's much better than the traditional T-shaped levers. However, it's still there, eating away the space in the middle. The latest keys that we see from the Ghia family. I really like this design though. Like, I think it's much more fancier than what they used to have. And this is where the wireless charging pad is, and it's slightly at an angle, and the heated seats and ventilated seats. All this, again, I have covered in my previous video, so please refer to that. Both of the cars get the 12.3 dual-inch monitors left and right. So fire this car up. This is the 12.3-inch monitors left and right, as we can see, and this is the column type shifter that I just told you about. Just massive center arm console as well as storage, and this is the key fob, also the brand new latest key fob from Hyundai Motor Group family, from Hyundai Cars, direct and intuitive. You see right there, Hyundai logo. 2 wireless charging pads, and these right here, it does not show the level of the charging, but rather it just shows the status that it's currently being charged. 360 view cams. Only the ACs are button controlled or touch sensitive. All the other buttons are still there as physical buttons, which is a huge plus. And I personally do favor physical buttons over digitalized center console. 2 storages, one on the top and good old drop down box like that. One on the top, you can throw your smartphone in just like that, close it, hit the UVC button, which will sanitize items inside. It's really convenient for you to sanitize the smartphone just like I did, but also when you have a baby, there are just so many items, or almost anything has to be sterilized, right? So that comes really handy. All this comes standard regardless of which trim you get, so that's also a bonus for the Santa Fe. And this is the digital center mirror, which is really handy under poor conditioned weather and during the nighttime drives. Driving this car around with the digital center mirror, the best part is that you get so much view than a traditional rear view mirror. I think you get about at least 50% more, and I could easily spot the cars that I couldn't see with a conventional rear view mirror using this digital center mirror. And Sorento also gets the digital center mirror. It's the same thing as the Santa Fe I have shown you, but the difference comes right here. The biggest difference that I want to point out is this panoramic sunroof. Sorento just nails it with this outrageous panoramic sunroof. Much more different experience when it comes to the second row seats and the passengers sitting inside. So, well, Santa Fe also gets the sunroof, but it's not the panoramic sunroof like that of the Sorrentos. I mean, it is much more bigger than a sedan and so forth. However, you can actually see the difference immediately. There is this hidden assist door handle, and you can actually climb up to the roof of your Santa Fe just like this. And this is what the top view looks like for Santa Fe. And that is the Sorento. And also, even from the top, it looks much more sleek for Sorrento's roof compared to that of the Santa Fe, as we can see. So this is the trunk space of Sorento. There is no argument that Santa Fe gets much larger trunk space than that of the Sorento. However, well, still, Sorento definitely looks more of an SUV, the traditional conventional SUV, than Santa Fe. That is for certain. So right here, just watch out because it's just so massive. Just look at that massive trunk that Santa Fe offers. So these two cars together, typical SUV look and design for Sorento versus nothing like this before for Santa Fe. And you see those reflectors, the red, they light up when you open up a trunk to alert the oncoming traffic. And also, I like that touch right there. The license plate lights actually also work as warning lights when you open up the trunk. So that is going to stand out much more during the nighttime for the oncoming traffic. For Sorento, the license plates are located. Actually, I can't find it, but it's right there. So that is the reason why we don't see that. However, I really like the taillight design, what Sorento has done with this. Each of the bars here, they light up individually. And it's super bright, which makes the car look really upscale. And since it is the Gravity trim, it comes in the blacked out wheels, 235/60/18, and that is because it's a hybrid model. Because it's an HEV we get the 18s, which is the largest you can get on this car. Come over this way for Santa Fe. Of course, you're not HEV, just a regular gasoline model. You can already see how massive this wheel is. 245, 45, 21-inch wheel on a family SUV. And you can also get this wheel blacked out, have it completely black on Black Ink Edition. And when this closes, just watch the rear taillight turns back on. So these two cars together, again, one of the strongest competitors out in the market. I know a lot of you guys are debating between the two. So I hope this video would help you with your decision to some extent. Reviewing these two cars together, back and forth and back to back, I must say that I am a little too personally biased to Santa Fe right here, because when it comes to a family SUV, the looks, the design isn't the #1 priority. I think it really comes down to the practicality and usability, how the car serves the purpose of being a family SUV. And I think Santa Fe checks a whole lot more boxes than Sorento does. However, if it is more of a design aspect and the design matters to you a little more, I would certainly go with the Sorento. I really like this refreshed and refined tiger mask of the Sorento. You can see Ghia has put in a lot of effort because they have changed completely. They got the brand new bonnet where they used to have the island bonnet in the middle, but they got rid of that, got the elongated bonnet which stretches out all the way to here. They got their brand new DRL, and that is also another opposites united that Ghia has portrayed on this car, because this is also one of the points that Ghia made. That is, when you turn on the blinkers, there's also the blind spot view monitor. It's exactly the same thing for Santa Fe and Sorento. So when you actually turn the blinkers on, you see it comes with the sequential lights like this. That vertical portion does not light up. It's only the top portion, as we can see right here. So that is another point that Ghia has made, that this is the opposites united at work. Biggest upgrade and the difference from the previous model is the AC vent. It has been horizontal and it's much more slimmer on the center compared to the last one. And thanks to that, we also get the latest tech from Ghia, which you can use that button to go back and forth your AVN, the navigation, and also the AC controllers. We've been seeing that in recent Ghia cars for some time now, and it made it its way to Sorento. Probably, perhaps this is one of the biggest differences, because Sorento pre-facelift model did not get the 12.3-inch monitor, whereas even Sportage, the little brother of Sorento, got it. So Sorento had to wait a little to get this displays finally. There is also piano black on the second row seat, as we can see over there. Comes with the heated seats. And it is the same thing for Santa Fe as well. Neither of these cars get ventilated seats for the second row seat, even if you get the captain seats. So probably that is reserved for Telluride for Ghia and Palisade for Hyundai. Both Sorento and Santa Fe gets this shape third row seat, where you can just easily pull this up and you're ready to go with the third row seat. And honestly, clearly Santa Fe is the winner when it comes to the third row seat, because of the headroom, the size, how it feels just inside the cabin overall. Because even for the third row seat, you get this gigantic window. It is the still same quarter glass, traditional quarter glass that we have seen on SUVs. And that is the reason why it makes a huge differences between the design of these two cars together. People say the design, when it comes to Ghia, it's all about the design. And I think Ghia has made a valid point on this Sorento as well. So having said that, I think it's most refined design for a SUV when it comes to Ghia Sorento. This is just absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. I don't think an SUV can get any more sexier than this 2024 Ghia Sorento. Also on the back, we have that big baby SUV from Hyundai, Kona. And that is also relatively a brand new car, but the proportions, the shape, the exterior, the profile, overall feeling and sensation of a car is completely different when it comes to this Sorento versus Kona, right? So it's got a lot to do with the size of the vehicle as well. And applying that statement to this Santa Fe, it has a lot to do with the size, the shape, the overall sensation that the Santa Fe delivers is just certainly different from that of the Sorento. All right, so that's it for today's video, going back and forth, back to back, 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe versus 2024 Kia Sorento. This is a facelift versus an all-new Santa Fe. And as I've been saying throughout my videos, it may not be a fair game for Sorento to put up a fight with the Santa Fe because all new versus just a facelift. So there certainly is the gray area between the customer, the persona of these two vehicles. So depending on your personal taste and your needs, one certainly would favor Santa Fe over Sorento and vice versa. And I really do have been getting split opinions and decisions about these two cars because I've made several videos on each of these cars already. Drop in the comment below what you think is the best family SUV or just an SUV of your personal preference. Is it this boxy Santa Fe, the box as the designer Barry himself calls it, or is it this 2024 Kia Sorento? Seems like Kia has completed their SUV design with this Sorento. Just look at this. If you have torn decisions between these two cars, feel free to drop in the comment below. I'll try to answer to best of my knowledge. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching Cars in Korea. Don't forget to subscribe and like Cars in Korea if you did, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Seriously, Sorento or Santa Fe? All right, so it's now the time that you guys have been waiting for, the measuring tape. So I have this measuring tape in centimeters, the feet right here. So refer to the top numbers for the feet and also bottom for the centimeters. I have actually a very detailed measurements about the Santa Fe, which I'll be including right after this one. Go measure Sorento. So placing it right there, stretching it out all the way. So that is the number I am getting. As you can see, that is 136 centimeters. I'll just read out the centimeters and convert it into inches and include it in the video. And next is the roof, the ceiling. Fair to say 85 centimeters for the ceiling. You see over there, so it's nearly touching it right over there. So I'm measuring all the way to where the fabric is for the trunk, and that is 196 centimeters, just like that. Where else would you be interested in? All right, so let's measure. So let's measure between the humps right here, these two, where the wheelhouses are, comes down to 107, if not 108 centimeters wide. So that is briefly the sizes of the Sorento trunk, the rear trunk, and the third row seat. 자, 136cm, 136cm, 그리고 시트 앞에까지 당기면 117cm, 117cm가 나옵니다. 그리고 기다리신 2, 3열을 이렇게 접으면 여기까지 186cm.
내 키보다 커.
네, 186cm가 나오면서 제일 깊은 데 기준으로 얼추 35cm? 35cm 정도가 나오고요. 제일 깊은 거 기준. 그러니까 여기가 깔아서 여기 침대를 만들면 그냥 완전 진짜 편안한 시트가 되는 거죠. 2cm, 42.5? 42.5 정도가 나오네요. Lastly, let me pull the Santa Fe right next to the Sorento to the best I can and kind of give you the back-to-back feeler of what these two cars are like when they are parked right next to one another. cars are, oh, so there is the Sorento right before the facelift.